Karan Verma completes the panel. Sanju Verma, why bring in the IAF for all this? What is the police for?
You know, Pranesh, let me make one thing very clear. Yes, it is not just a technical glitch. We've seen blurry mark sheets. We've seen mark sheets getting mixed up in the CBSE results. We've seen earlier that, there was the NEET UG examination, which was compromised, and now there will be a re-examination on the 21st of June. After seeing what has transpired in the last couple of weeks, if the government deems it necessary to ensure that there is transparency, there is a fair re-evaluation, and the government feels that you need to press in the Air Force or other paramilitary services into play, I don't think there is any reason for the opposition to cry foul.
Sanju Verma, we will get to the opposition in just a bit. But can you please explain to me that has the government run out of options? Why bring in the Indian Air Force to ferry the question paper, ma'am? What will it, what are we going to, task the IAF next?
Pranesh, let me get one thing very clear to your audience, because they are the biggest stakeholders in your debates. Just because the government is saying we'll press the Air Force into service to ferry question papers, that does not mean that nothing was done all this while. Please understand, and I have full sympathies for Vedant Srivastava and anyone who calls him a Pakistani. I completely condemn that. I'm glad he turned out to be a whistleblower of sorts. Having said that, let's get one thing very clear. It is the Modi government which has finally decided that the NEET examination from 2027 will not be in OMR-based
No, 1 minute. Sanju Verma, answer my question. We'll get to what the Modi government has done, but let me tell you, it is the Modi government that is presiding over the NEET mess. Not the first time. So, let's go step by step. Can you tell me what is the justification to get in the IAF?
No, my simple question to your question, without being offensive, is if the opposition and the government on this particular issue believe that our students and their future cannot be compromised, cannot be marginalized, let's do whatever it takes. Then what is the big brouhaha if the government indeed wants to press the Navy or the Air Force into
Now I knew such a response would come. Now, Sanju Verma ji, answer this question. If you believe the system is broken and that you have to resort to bringing in the IAF, why not have a lieutenant general? Why have the minister? Remove the minister, get in a lieutenant general, get the CDS to preside over the NTA. Why have the minister or why have any minister? Let the army run the country.
Pranesh, I'm not going to say I knew, Pranesh, you would ask this question. I'm glad you're asking me the toughest questions. I will just say this. For the first time after 34 years, in 2020, we had a new education policy. The last time we had a comprehensive education policy was in 1986. Yes, there have been more than a few glitches. 1 minute. You asked me a question, let me respond. We have said next year it will be a CBT format to do away with malpractices which are more endemic to a
No, Sanju Verma, this is not about the format. When you brought in the new education policy, I was the loudest person in the room saying that this is the need of the hour. But here the problem is not the education policy. I am questioning this brainwave. Who came up with this idea to entrust the IAF?
Just going to stick to this, that be it transparency, be it accountability, the Modi government has never shied away from, asking various stakeholders to give their suggestions. And I'm sure that on the 21st of June, the re-evaluation or the re-examination of the NEET UG will be smooth, seamless, which is what our youngsters deserve. And I can also guarantee you one more thing, that the 2026 rollout of the online screen marking OSM system in the CBSE exams may have had glitches, but going forward, this will set a precedent in terms of ensuring fairness.
Now,
in
Sanju
marking.
Verma, listen to this. I am going to give you 3 names. I know you are familiar with the names. P.V. Kulkarni, Professor P.V. Kulkarni, NTA insider, Manisha Havaldar, appointed by the NTA as an expert, Manisha Mandhare, appointed as an expert by NEET-UG. The problem is with the NTA. How is the courier service going to help?
Said this in a couple of other debates on other channels, and I'll say this on your show today, despite being the national spokesperson of BJP, that I'm sure, given the brouhaha and for good reason, the Modi government, amidst other reforms that have been brought in, will also ensure a systemic overhaul of the NTA by ensuring that it does not function as a semi-autonomous body, but has greater accountability under the aegis of a Parliament Act. And let me also tell you one more thing. This is the only government which has actually started putting in practice the K. Radhakrishnan committee recommendations. So I think that's a good start.
No, it's a
I'm
great
not
start,
saying that
ma'am.
it's
I
enough,
don't
but
think
it's a good start.
I don't think Mr. Radhakrishnan in his report said anything about using the IAF.
No, so Mr. Radhakrishnan has made various suggestions, including enhanced CCTV surveillance, including a CBT format, including systemic overhaul of NTA. We have adopted all those and are adopting most of the 100 suggestions that he's
Very
made.
good.
Please don't
Very
link
good
this
if
to
you've done that,
IAF.
Sanju Verma. Every time I have problem with two things. One, the word brouhaha. 3-4 बार बोल दिया आपने brouhaha. ये brouhaha नहीं है. If you get the IAF to do this, you know what happens to the postal department, other courier services, ma'am. And if you're talking about, I heard the minister talking and, citing the future of the students, etc., etc. By that logic, every life in this country is precious. Then let's have the military do all the duties that the other agencies are not doing. People die because of bad roads. Let's get the BRO to make roads now. Let's have the army as, traffic havaldars.
Pranesh, when I use the term brouhaha, I particularly and specifically did it with response to the opposition. Because I have admitted on your debate that yes, the system needs an overhaul. But at the same time, I will not allow Rahul Gandhi to politicize this. BJP
1 minute. You don't have to allow a Rahul Gandhi. If you want the system overall, who sits at the top of the system, ma'am? The minister. Let's get a lieutenant general in place of the minister. Can we start by doing that?
I will answer that question now very clearly. Because my style is not to shove the uncomfortable truths under the carpet. People have been howling, let Dharmendra Pradhan resign. My pointed response is this. Whether Dharmendra Pradhan resigns or not, or whether Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who's the head of the cabinet under Article 75 of the Indian Constitution, decides what Dharmendra Pradhan should or should not do, is the prerogative of Narendra Modi, not of Rahul Gandhi or Sonia Gandhi, who have politicized this issue.
Sanju